Hello and welcome back. Before we get into testing, let's take a quick tour into what makes your code hard to unit test. The first aspect is using new keyword in a constructor or at field declaration. And here's two examples. If you're wondering what's so wrong about them, well, in both cases the creation or assignment of the engine object cannot be controlled. Ideally, you want to test your classes in isolation and to provide all their dependencies, in our case the engine, as stubs or mocks. You want to avoid using reflection to test your code as it gets messy over time. A good practice is to use dependency injection by providing the dependencies into the constructors as parameters. In this way, you could later, during testing, use a child class that is a stub or mock as an argument, which you will pass to the constructor. Now, to the second aspect, anything more than field assignment in the constructor. Yes, you heard well, anything that can cause the constructor to break is not good for unit testing. And here's an example where I thought of starting and registering the car in the constructor as I was trying to get two rabbits with one shot. A good practice is to assign only variables in the constructor. Do this and you're safe. The last suspect, which you hopefully rarely encounter, is the static initialization block. While in some cases it can provide some good optimizations, for testing is a nightmare. Just imagine that inside the static block, the method for reading the car properties breaks during testing due to some exception that you cannot avoid. The unit test will crash miserably. An alternative will be to move the logic inside the helper class, then use a class like manager to construct the car using the preloaded properties. So okay, refactoring is often a solution, but what happens when you need to test a legacy code that you cannot modify? Well, this is where the mocking frameworks really help, and I will be showing you some of their nicest features in the next lessons.